Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Everything Spice. My name is Tanya. Well, today I am in the mood for chicken. I think I'm always in the mood for chicken though. I really do like chicken. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a big panal in the crock pot and cook it for about 8 hours. It's going to be Mexican style this time. Now I have these quarters that I got on sale. And I also have chicken drums as well. A whole package of chicken drums and chicken quarters. I got this really sharp scissors, and it's poultry scissors. And what I do is I cut along the line. If you need more stability, please don't do it like this, but this is how I'm doing it. And look, it separates the drum from, see how sharp, these are very sharp, that's why I don't play with them. Don't play with these at home, the kids. These are not scissors with a faint of heart. These are very sharp. I got this at a restaurant supply store. So here we go. So I'm gonna put them in, separate my thighs from the drums, put more drums in, because you can never have enough chicken drums. And this is gonna fall apart, I'm telling you. It's so beautiful. I mean, you can do this, you don't have to do this. You know, I'm doing this because it saves a lot of money, because sometimes drums can cost more money, or sometimes thighs are cheaper. But this time I went to the store, the thighs were more expensive than the quarters, and the drums were cheaper too. So I bought a package of both. Figured I'd break it down myself. Kind of culinary, you know, when you think about it. Very culinary. So this is, the gloves are off. The germs are in the gloves. Now, I'm gonna cut up some onion, and I'm gonna add that to the crock pot. So it's onions. It can be anything you want, really. I mean, any vegetable you want. You can put garlic in here. I might put garlic in there as well as I'm going along. I'm not gonna show you every little thing I do, because like I said, cooking is a method, baking is a science. So you can deviate a little bit from the science, but I wouldn't recommend a lot of deviation from the science. But as far as cooking, it's whatever you want to do, my friends. Cooking is definitely where you can show your creative side. So I got 2 onions here. I do have garlic in the refrigerator. I keep it in the refrigerator to keep it like fresh, whole garlic. And then I also have the, you know, the kind in the jar too. My mom used to use that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can cut it in any way you want to, but it's gonna all break down, but this is all flavor that really makes a difference in the final product. So put it in, cut up your onions, don't have to be like really fancified, just throw them in. This is rustic cooking, okay? No fancification necessary. Is that even a word, fancification? If it isn't, I'm gonna start a trend. All right, so now what I'm adding, I got the onions in. I crushed up like 5 cloves of garlic. Hang on, let me show you. Throw that in as well. Now we're gonna put in our seasonings and our other stuff. I have some sofrito, it's Mexican. So I am putting in sofrito. You don't have to put it in, but I kind of like it. I'm gonna put a couple of zhuzhes in. My mother used to love sofrito, and I do too. I'm actually gonna put the whole jar in. I don't have that much in here, so the whole, like maybe I would say a cup to a half a cup, probably like a half a cup. It's not even that much I should say. Half a cup of sofrito. I got 2 packages of Goya, which is the, what is this, cubitos and polvo. And that's gonna go in. And that's the one, the packages with the chicken on it. Okay, I'm gonna put that all in. That's gonna be really highly seasoned and delicious. Everything spice means everything nice. Now, Lowry's seasoned salts. That's gonna be my salt of choice. Don't do too much, just enough. You want it a little bit on the salty side, but not too much. I'm gonna put some mustard, ground mustard in. Why? Because the can, baby. Garlic powder. I love me garlic powder. Some people like garlic salt, but I'm wicked into garlic powder, not garlic salt. Now, this tomato, I've showed you this before in my show, but this is so good. This is a tomato bouillon. So that's why you want to, and look, maybe about this much. Now, sofrito has tomato, but this is gonna bump up the tomato flavor in this Mexican delicious stew, chicken stew that I'm gonna be making today. I'm gonna put some yellowing coloring because I kind of like the color that it makes, that imparts this yellowing, beautiful color. Put a little bit of that. You don't have to. Some paprika. So delicious. So tasty. Okay. A few more things. Now I got a can of Mexican style stewed tomatoes. Tomatoes, potatoes. And I'm putting that all in. It's going to be filled to the brim. It's so good. And then the jar that I have of the sofrito, I put a little bit of juice from the tomatoes. And I'm going to add that to it as well. And guess what else I'm putting in? Spanish olives. Here, baby, I am. I'm putting it in. Okay, so I don't know how many, maybe not the full jar, obviously, but I don't know, 10 to 12 with a little bit of the juice. And what else? Pepper, of course. Pepper. And this is going to cook for about 8 hours. 8 hours, okay, on low. So you can put it on low. If it, if you're in a hurry, you can put it on 4 to 5 hours on high, but I have time. So I am putting it on low. That is it. Put that away. Cover it. Pop goes the weasel, and the weasel goes pop. And I'm going to come back in 8 hours. And this is on low for your slow cooker. Mexican chicken stew in your crock pot. Go to work, you set this up before you go to work, or even set this up the day before you go to work, put it in the refrigerator, pop it in your crock pot just before you head to work. And when you come home at 5 o'clock, boom, baby, you got yourself something that you can say, arriba! Yes, it is. It's Mexican chicken stew on Everything Spice. Hang with me to see the final results. All right, everybody, one thing I did forget to mention to you. In the pot of goodness, which I didn't even show you, I'm going to add cilantro. I went to the store. I got me some cilantro, okay? And I put some vino in. Wine. Red wine. You can put white wine with chicken, but I am putting the burgundy wine that I have. It's burgundy wine. It's so good. Deep, rich, tasty. Totally drinkable. When you put wine, let me give you a tip here. When you put wine in your food, don't use garbage wine, because whatever you put in there is concentrated. So if it's garbage wine, it is going to taste garbagey when you eat it. Okay, when you eat the food. So always use a good wine. Let me get my stirrer. All right, come to the pot. I never even showed you the pot. How remiss of me to do such a thing. Okay, I'm going to mix this in really well because the longer the cook, sometimes cilantro can brown on you. So I'm going to try to mix it in, but look at all of this flavor. You got onions, you got the Mexican stewed tomatoes, you got all of the spices that are in here, and the onions, the garlic. Oh my! This stew is going to be... I know, doesn't that sound great? Turn it up. If you have headphones, turn it up. There goes your hearing, baby. All right, here we go. We got sofrito in here. We have all kinds of deliciousness. Now this is a beautiful stew. I mean, amazing stew. And after 8 hours, cover it up. Pop. That's incredible. That is going to be delicioso. And what I'm going to do is serve this with some Spanish rice, not Spanish rice. I'm going to do yellow rice. I love yellow rice. And my family likes yellow rice. So I'm going to serve it with yellow rice. But 8 hours, so about 5 o'clock, I'm going to take this off. What time is it now? 1:50 right now. And about 5 o'clock, this will be done. It'll be falling off the bone, amazingly delicious. I did not add chicken stock to it. You could add chicken stock, chicken broth to this if you wanted to, versus what I did, which was the liquid from the olives. I used some of the Spanish olives. I used some of the liquid for that. I had the sofrito, which turns liquidy. I had the stewed tomatoes, which has liquid in it. And then I had my burgundy wine in there. So with crock pots, it creates steam. See right here at the top? It creates steam. This cover creates steam. And then all of that steam goes into the food that you're cooking. So you don't really need to use a lot of liquid, and you shouldn't. You don't have to have this thing filled with liquid. It's not necessary. The chicken's going to create its own juices. The tomatoes is going to create its own juices. So all of that's going to happen anyways. And as it breaks down, it's going to be magnificent. You're going to have a lot of juice in here. So really, you don't have to go crazy with a crock pot when it comes to liquid. With that being said, this is the final product. So let's get it up to temp again, because it has to come up every time you turn. You don't try to touch this cover too much, because every time you open it up, it takes a little bit longer. So it could be 5:30 now because I opened the cover. Okay, so it's a set it and forget it type of, I don't know what you'd call it, appliance, right? So let it go. Don't cover it. Don't be tempted to keep opening it up. Leave it alone. Let it sit there, set it and forget it, and then come back after that hour, 8 hours for low, 5 hours usually, 4 to 5 hours on high. Okay? Let me show you what it looks like on the other side. All right, hi everyone, I'm back, and we are done. Let's shut it off, and let's reveal the final. Oh my goodness, look at that. Here it is. Come to the pot. Look at that. Look at that. Hear it? Oh my goodness. Look at this. All right, baby. Look at this. It's falling off the bone. Just as I said it would. Just as I said it would. All right, so I'm going to set up your plate. Look at this chicken. Oh my gravy. It's so good. And look at the gravy. This is what I mean when I said you did not need any residual water, because look how much water you have in this pan. It's like, look at it. It's craziness. Tons and tons and tons. Oh my goodness, so good. All right, so we're gonna set up a plate, get a little olives here, get some juice on here, and look, let me push this aside. I also have some rice. Okay, like I said I was gonna make. I roasted some carrots as well. So let me set a plate for you. We got some rice for you. We have some chicken. This is yellow rice, Spanish style. It says yellow rice. Perfecto. And then get some juice for all of it. Make it look so yummy. That's perfect. Okay, my friends. This is it. This is Mexican style stewed chicken. Okay, and here is your plate. Look at how delicioso this is. I'm telling you, you gotta try it. It's gorgeous, and this is for you. And if you like this episode, if you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you, please like, subscribe, and join me next time for Everything Spice. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or evening, everybody. Be safe.